What's up, MMA fans? Welcome back to MMA Prophecies, where I release UFC news and fight predictions. Please do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button for the YouTube algorithm. Now let's get into it. Alexander Volkanovski just did an interview on Israel Adesanya's channel and revealed what he went through after that KO loss versus Islam Makhachev. And I'm going to give you guys my reaction. But basically, early on in the interview, he revealed how bad of shape he was in when he took on the pound-for-pound king, and admitted to drinking every day for 3 to 4 weeks because apparently his next fight wasn't going to be for a while, and he was just suffering from mental health issues. He said he wasn't drinking enough to get wasted every day, but obviously, in my opinion, in a lot of people's eyes, he made a really big mistake to take on that fight, because that decision directly resulted in him getting badly knocked out, which led to elevated feelings of depression and mood swings. And this is because he was already dealing with mental health issues before the fight. So they just got stacked on top of each other, and this is how Volk described his concussion symptoms.
So I wanted to follow all the protocols, do it all properly, because I did have a light concussion, which messes with the head, by the way. I've never had the concussion before. So I'm lucky enough to be playing football. Yes, I've been playing rugby league for however long I was, and fighting how long. I've never been concussed. And yeah, so it messes with your head for that week and a bit. Like I was like, wow, I was like, it
In
it
what
was
way?
very hard. Oh man, look, it's just obviously emotional, as you've seen on the post-fight press conference. You get agitated easier, uncomfortable, and like weird anxieties. You know what I mean? Just like you're just a bit of emotional wreck. You just can't deal with things how you usually will. I usually deal with things very well. But again, obviously that timing before the fight, and then especially with the concussion, very very hard for my head to deal with things. So
Guys, I've actually experienced a lot of what he's describing myself. When I used to compete in MMA 10 years ago, I would feel irritable and get annoyed really easy because my head would just constantly pound and hurt. And that's exactly why I don't take a short notice fight versus that pound for pound champion when you are not prepared. That being said, Alex claimed that he feels great now and is breaking records in the gym because he's had enough time to follow the concussion protocols, ease into camp and then turn up the intensity. And I believe him because he's a freak athlete. I mean, that's why a lot of people are going to watch this fight, to see if he can get back to form after that KO loss. And so far, he's dominated at the featherweight division, but we'll see how he reacts to the biggest obstacle in his career and biggest test so far, Ilia Topuria. But we've seen that it's hard for champions like Israel or Kamaru to come back with full confidence after they've reigned for so long and then lose suddenly. But you have to assume that Volk can come back strong with the full camp, right, you guys? He still hasn't lost at featherweight, and he almost finished Makhachev, the pound-for-pound champion, their first fight with the full camp. So you have to assume he can get back to that form. And this would be a huge comeback win for Volk and a Cinderella story. And I'm sure he'll feel much better if he wins this fight and is going to feel on top of the world again. But after getting that off his chest and clearing it up to everyone, that he then goes on to say that there's not many featherweights that excite him right now, but there's actually some really exciting fights at lightweight for him that'll be interesting and challenging puzzles to solve. And I agree, because besides Ilya, there aren't any exciting featherweights that people would watch. A lot of people still don't even know who Movsar Evloev is, so that wouldn't garner a ton of views. But we all know who he's talking about at lightweight, and it has to be the one and only Charles Oliveira. Can you imagine how big of a main event that would be? And the timing is perfect because they both have fights coming up. The only question is, if Charles beats Arman, then he would have to fight Islam again. But if he loses, then I can definitely see him fighting Volkanovski. That could be one of the greatest fights in lightweight history. Charles is insanely aggressive and has the best jiu-jitsu at lightweight, whereas Volk is extremely fast on his feet with good takedown defense and solid boxing. So it would be amazing to watch those two guys clash. And I think it would definitely make for one of the most exciting fights ever. They would definitely test each other's limits. And as for Topuria, well, I'm a big fan of his, and I think he's extremely talented, well-rounded, and extremely powerful. But I still think Volk at his best is on another level. Don't you guys remember what he just did to Yair Rodriguez in Korean Zombie? And before that, he beat Max Holloway, one of the greatest featherweight champions of all times, 3 times in a row, and it wasn't even close that third time. So I'm hoping that Volk beats Topuria and then fights Charles next. But let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think Volk is coming back too soon, or is he going to be back in championship form? And would you guys want to see him fight at lightweight? And who? Let me know in the comments section. And if you guys like this video, please hit that like and subscribe button for more UFC news and fight predictions. And until the next video, peace out, you guys.